When brothers fight to the death, a stranger inherits their father's estate. The words of an African proverb bringing us into this episode of the Jamaican Dadz podcast. I'm Garth Williams.
I'm Marlon Campbell.
I'm Floyd Green.
And we are
Jamaican Dadz.
That's right. This program is all about providing a safe, healthy space for us as men to ventilate the issues of major concern to our masculinity. We want to raise the conversation about how we operate and deliver ourselves and discharge our duties as responsible husbands, boyfriends, fathers, leaders, workers, and so much more. So we've got another great show for you on the way today. In our Dad Try This segment, we've got a very cool life hack for you at home as a man. As a matter of fact, it will help everybody in the house. But even if you live alone, it still will work for you. That's perfectly fine too. Right? In Fresh to Death, we share a bit of face care tips today. As you might realize, I've got rid of the beard for now. It comes back in no time.
I didn't even notice.
Thank you. Thank you for not noticing. And then in the meat of the matter, we will discuss life as a single father.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. I mean, we have the benefit, and I do mean it when I say benefit and privilege, of living in a household with our partners to raise our families. And that means a lot in terms of support that we can receive. You have a little more flexibility. Room to compromise and so on. But for single fathers, we know that it must be a challenge, as it is also for single mothers.
Yeah.
But we'll hear the perspective of Dameon Gayle. He's a video director who will join us for that. But before we get there, let's fire off with the opening salvo. And this week's opening salvo comes to us courtesy of an online article entitled 10-Year-Old Boy Sets Guinness World Record for Math Problem. And we've got...
Math.
It's
Math
related. Yeah, man. But the big question I want to ask after sharing the article of all of us is, what amazing things or thing does your child do that you couldn't? You can probably think about that in the meantime while I share with you this interesting news story. A 10-year-old elementary school student living in England set a Guinness World Record for solving multiplication and division problems in 1 minute. Dameon Gayle, a 10-year-old, 10 as we said, a student at Longmoor Primary School in Long Eaton, England, spent some of his COVID-19 lockdown time practicing math on the Times Table Rockstars app, and he ended up using the educational platform to set a Guinness World Record. Listen to this. Gayle answered 196 multiplication and division questions in 1 minute. Okay?
Right.
That's
yes, averaging more
3
than
per sec.
You did good.
Yeah, I was.
Wow. Judah would be proud. So averaging out to more than 3 answers per second, beating out 700 other students, young students who attempted the new record created by Guinness in partnership with the app. The boy was issued an official certificate with the highest score achieved on the Times Table's Rockstars.
Wow.
In 1 minute.
Yeah.
That kid is absolutely amazing. 196 multiplication and division problems in a minute. I don't think I could have done that. By the time I beat my chest and carry the one,
Exactly.
it's over.
That's my thing.
I'm sure you could have
I don't think I could have do 10.
I don't even think I could do it with a calculator. That's what I'm thinking.
Wow.
Yet this kid went ahead and did all of that. It's always good when we've got our children doing amazing
Is there a
things.
picture of him? Let me see.
He's up here. There's a video of him actually sitting in front of a laptop with the app, and he's just doing his whole thing. So, but we know Nate, for example.
Yeah, I know my answer already.
Is a chess.
Yep. What amazing thing does he do that I couldn't do and cannot do?
Like
and,
win trophy of foreign.
Like
Like
chess. Yeah. So as I said, from the first episode, I was never a chess player. He's really, really good at chess. I guess I forward in the conversation from the first episode where I went on and tried to learn the basic things.
Right.
And I used to play with him and he thought I was okay. We went to a tournament in the US. I think that's when we realized that he's kind of really good. So he was put in his under 6 age group and he won. And then they bumped him up the next day to the under 8, and he came second. At that time, he was 5. And when we were coming back on the flight, he said, "Dad, let's play chess." I said, "All right, cool. Let's play chess." And he beat me in 3 moves.
Hold on. Is that one you move that move?
And beat me in 3 moves.
Yeah, me know that move.
And then the man said,
checkmate. Yeah.
Pawn to E3.
Yeah,
Daddy.
Pawn to E3.
Pawn up, so
then you go with the knight.
Knight
I think-
and then queen. Is knight
And
queen
then-
one?
yeah.
Check
that's
it.
when him
Know that
realized,
one.
you know, me not really so hot.
Yeah.
So,
it's really 4 moves because he moved 3 times
Yeah.
and then
Put you in check.
put you in check
and you can't
get
move.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
which way? From that, the man just said, "Dad, do you want to learn a little chess?" That's how the man transitioned the conversation. So,
right.
yeah.
How about Judah? I mean, he's 18 months.
Well,
But
the question is what?
what amazing thing does your child do, or can your child do that you can't? Or
Oh,
couldn't?
that
couldn't.
acting mother and still live. Oh, he's so cute. Let me try it.
Yeah, man.
One of y'all will be reading a eulogy.
at a bare minimum, a tooth on the floor. A tooth.
Oh gosh.
At one, just that single
What I
solitary.
find with kids nowadays are that they're really like digital natives.
Yeah.
Terminology, in that they're so comfortable with technology. Like, it's amazing how early they take to
I
things.
wish
like
Dennis was here
phones,
to talk about jacks.
tablets. But it's amazing.
Yeah, but okay, so Nick is now 7, right? Navigates his way through whatever type of gadget you throw at him. His sister is 11, she does the same thing, but she's 11, so you expect that of a grown child. But before the boy could identify letters properly, numbers, etc., he knows where to go. Like all we had to do at one point was just show him the tablet, and we were like, okay, this is your Peppa Pig or whatever we was watching at the time, right? And then he just knows how to go. But I also think that the designers of these technology, these gadgets, these apps especially, design them in such a way that a small developing brain can easily recognize patterns, because that's what they thrive on, and know exactly how to navigate.
I think that's something that Apple deliberately does. Apple says it should be as easy for a child.
Yeah, it's amazing, and clearly now they have access. For me, this is the flip side of the conversation as we had the other day in relation to what we had that they didn't have. Clearly now they have access to information that we never had.
Right.
Like where they have to go library and them thing there. Right. So like now my son, his new craze are YouTube science videos.
Right.
So every day, he comes with a new Daddy, is Pluto a planet? And then I said, no. Okay, you're right. And then he goes on to tell me, and Pluto used to be a planet one time,
So, you have to be amazed. You have to, and make sure that you're learning this and so forth. Yeah, because he's like Judah navigates through Netflix with it, and I'm like, he's fascinated with it. I don't want to say he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's fascinated with the whole technology and trying to find something.
Right, how things work.
Like,
now, what I find, though, as I mentioned, Floyd, with this vast amount of information that's available for them to just assimilate, we as parents have to be more vigilant on a couple of fronts. One, access. We have to make use of what technologies and parental controls are in place to prevent them from getting to certain spaces that they're just not prepared to have knowledge of or have a conversation around. The other thing is also there's a lot of misinformation because just like Nathaniel on YouTube with the science videos, so is Nick. Like he watches a lot of these videos, and then at dinner he will just raise a random question. Daddy, what if there were no more sand on the beaches? Daddy, what if there were no more coral reefs? You know what I mean? And thankfully, we expose him to videos that I can personally verify the information because it's something I would have studied and known. But lots of times, a lot of parents kind of just toss these devices at the kids and just leave them to go on their own. And
what we need to recall also, same way we were saying that we underestimate children because the other day I sat down and I was watching something on TV, and like 5 minutes in, I'm like, because Judah was in there, I was like, I don't think I should be watching this, because even though it's supposed to be older than him, I almost feel like he might assimilate. And I'm like, no. So I came right out.
You have to appreciate that they have a lot more influences than we had growing up. We had a lot more closed spaces.
Yeah.
So guys is right. And there's YouTube about everything,
Right.
Everything, So
everything.
So Nate, new thing now is Pokemon videos about the Pokemon video game. Right. So he has maxed out the game.
Lots of new things.
Right. The man in that stage now, I don't even know. Like he's maxed out the game, so now he's watching these videos to see what he missed. So he can go and max it again the right way.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
I'm brain kind of different.
the other thing too is
that's from Korea.
Yeah, man. You know that. I'm aware. Nick, for example, at one point, just would always come into our room and cling to his mom to sleep. And I said, why is that? It's his sister who had to explain to us that there was one of the cartoons that he was watching where some thing would come from under the bed. Right?
Yeah, I've watched a cartoon thing.
Right, you have to be careful.
And we need a whole program about technology.
Absolutely. And we had to literally prove to him that nothing would happen.
Yeah.
Right? He was, for a point, deathly afraid of the dark, because once the light goes out, then his imagination goes wild. And I had to say to him, say, look here, Daddy, lie down in the dark all night, and you wake up and you say, Daddy, every day. Nothing happens. Right? These things, there's nothing in the dark. Whatever you lock your eye, and what your last thing you saw when you lock your eye is going to be there when you wake up in the morning. So don't worry. But it took a while for us to kind of get him there. So we have to be very careful of that.
Much so.
But
this is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Nate if you want to kind of match challenge.
Yeah. Dameon Gayle is his name, and he's 10 years old. Nate is what, 8 now?
7.
7? All right. So he's still got like 3 years
to meet the
rest. No, man, right now. What do you mean? Impossible enough for you, Now I said, Nate, we're going to challenge.
You can do this.
You are better than you. We could go after it.
Nobody no more than
Daddy, can you do it? And then Becca said, all right, go play chess.
Yeah, let's stick to chess for a while. All right, well, that's it for the opening salvo. Let's hear your thoughts on Dameon Gayle and his massive achievement, or share with us what your children can do, which is amazing, that you couldn't do.
Yeah, we
want to hear from you. You can send us an email, JamaicanDadz@gmail.com. You can use the hashtag Jamaican Dadz on Twitter, and you can find us all over the place at Jamaican Dadz. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, all those wonderful things. We're going to take a break. When we return, we'll have Dameon Gayle, the video director, with us as we discuss life as a single father right here in Jamaica. Stay with us. It's the Jamaican Dadz podcast. Welcome back to the Jamaican Dadz podcast. I'm Garth. We've got Marlon and Floyd with us, about to get into the meat of the matter, our main discussion segment. And today we're talking about life as a single father. We've got video director Dameon Gayle with us. Dameon, welcome.
Bless.
Yeah, man, happy to have you. Now, single fathers in Jamaica is really not a popular thing. You don't really find a lot of single fathers. You hear a lot about single mothers, but there are single fathers out there, a rare species.
Are they really? Or they just don't make a big deal?
I'd go with rare species, to be honest. I genuinely think that...
Not in the majority.
Not in the majority. But I do maybe not as rare as...
They just don't talk.
Right, as much. So we're going to have Dameon share his perspective, his journey, his experience, because it's something personally I'm interested in, just to get an understanding of how it really go. And I'm sure you too, as listeners and viewers, are also interested. So, Dameon, single father.
Yeah.
Just kind of describe for us what got you there. How did you become a single father? How it work?
Well, how it worked was that Let me just get a quick overall vibe of just knowing that when my baby mother at the time was pregnant, I know me that I forgot to take the child.
You knew that you'd have to take the child?
Yeah, I know me that I forgot to take the child. I actually tell her, like, when she was like 7 months pregnant, like, yo, when that baby is born, I forgot to take care of the child because of how I already see how she operates. She already have 2 kids, I'm already see the situation. And I said, no, my kids not going to grow up that way. It's one of them situations you get somebody pregnant, you have to just follow through and just get the thing sorted out on a level.
If you can, share with us like some of the red flags. You mentioned that she already had 2 children.
Yeah.
But what was probably even that one sign when you're like, yeah, all right, Dameon, I forgot to do this.
When she's paying too much attention to the relationship than our kids. Was a big red flag for me. Like, and not to say, boy, okay, people can't find time to go like a party and stuff like that, but you can't leave your kids anywhere because of what you want to do. And you're not doing what you need you're not doing what you need to do to make sure the child is seeing a consistent example of an adult around.
Right. How old were those kids?
At the time, she had one kid that was, I think, was like 11, and the other one was like probably like 2 or something.
11 and 2.
But
okay.
Let me ask them, man. In coming to that decision, like, how you work out in your head, say you can do it. Because I'll tell you the truth, I don't know if I believe that if I never had the support of my partner, that, you know, boy, I don't know. I don't contemplate it, quite frankly. I don't even think about it. So how you work out? Say, you know, you can trod the road by myself.
Let me tell you something. It's like everything else in my life where like you have challenges and you have to just deal with them. I just say it come up because I've been even coming into the music industry and filming industry in a general everything was a challenge. It was like not knowing if it could have survived. I leave my 9-to-5 job and I know, say, boy, yo, I come do something where everybody consider like a papa job, you know. How me that go survive, right? So it's that mentality where like you take up challenges and you've been successful with some of your challenges, say boost up your energy, if you know you can, confidence, if you know so you can take it on. Yeah. Right, so it's all about trying to analyze. Once you figure out, okay, that's your final destination you want to go, then you're gonna start look on the small steps when you need to go to the end.
Right.
Makes
so
sense.
Yeah. So you said at 7 months you had like this epiphany. This
yeah, because me that deal with her before that, and you already have started to learn the person. And you know, sometimes we get in a relationship without even knowing who we are getting involved with, and then throughout time, you know, see me and live with me are 2 different things.
Oh, right. Yes.
And then you start to see certain things where I say, yo, this not gonna work. This is not how me I want my child to grow up, and you know what I mean. Like you start to see certain behaviors because you know sometimes in the beginning you have a time when everybody put on this face,
the honeymoon phase,
right? So you see that and you feel like everything I go work out or it I go work out. Then you start getting to the nitty gritty when everybody start get comfortable and you start to the red flags and just jump up all over the place. Yeah. So being that is going to be my first child, and I guess I don't know, maybe subconsciously how I was brought up with my mom and my dad. They were married and everything in that old nuclear family vibes. I don't know, maybe it's that the settings from my upbringing, my mother sent me to church and all of the little vibes there, but did figure me did want to make sure my child was supposed to grow up because of the environment I was brought up into. Not to say me never did around the whole of the madness too, but my mother and my parents make sure so like
that unit was
was there. You understand? Because even right now my sister and her husband is a pastor and them type of thing there. So I grew up in that lineage there. So I date somebody outside of that type of environment there. So it's easy for say no. You know what I mean? Even though I was like the balance between the two, I tried to be the balance, but you know, sometimes you can't teach old dogs new tricks. So when the kid come in, we could actually like prepare the child, me that like to see the child, see the environment and world.
Yeah. Just for a little bit of balance, you said you saw red flags based on her behavior, and you pointed out one particular thing, which is for me very, very strong. You can't just up and left the youth them unattended like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Leave anybody that she can't leave the
right.
child.
Were there any red flags from your side? Like, is there anything that you would, upon reflection, you're like, boy, I could have done better. I could have tried to shape her. I could have tried, you know.
Yo, out of that whole experience, the one thing we learned, you can't go in a relationship and change nobody.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing we could have learned from that. a person is going to be what they want with or without your help. They have to want to see that change and see the need for the change. And if somebody say, okay, they're already comfortable in a settings that they are comfortable and them reach how much years upon the earth already, them already alive, you can't tell them nothing different.
Yeah.
You understand? So she already did breaking her own. I mean, I really want to speak too much bad about her because we already reached at a stage now where we kind of balance out now. It took a while to get there, but you know, she's doing what she's supposed to do now. Because now I can like leave the child with her for kind of like for a day maximum. If me need to go to something or whatever. Right.
So you decided at 7 months. How did it go? Did you get the child at what age?
It did rough because as I said, our priority was a relationship and not like, and I was looking about her kids then. Like me don't know. Me just pay attention to make sure so the kids them environment it's safe. Right. Actually I send them go school and make sure everything go good and all them things. Me do that, all of that. Right? But then me that try for kind of like, yo, listen, you need to match to the levels what me I try for do for the kids them. And she used to complain and said, me nah do nothing for she, me all I do for the kids them. I was like, your kids them and even my kids them. You see me? Yeah. And then another red flag was like, none of the fathers for the other kids wasn't around. And my experience with that show me why. Because me want to take on myself too. So, sorry, it sounds harsh.
Yeah.
But you know, you see what I'm saying? It sounds away, but I really like that. I really don't want to make it sound like me a basher. But the thing about it is that I did just see the responsibility of what I should do from early.
Right.
And
so when did you get the child? When did you?
Because after birth, then.
Yeah, how that go? Me did already plan. Say, I'm gonna wait till the baby come off her breast. And
you told her, right?
No, I never tell her that part. Because what happened during the whole thing, she was thinking that it would have continued that type of way. And it was an unsafe environment. It's too much argument, very toxic. We can't see youth grow up and I see them thing and think it's normal. Right. Because the bigger one that she had already was already behaving that type of way from whatever past relationship she had already. The child, that one, the bigger one, it already break into a way, pick up some habits already where the mother and I was very similar, you know. So me already I say, okay, this how the environment can safe, and if we can create it a way how it should be safe, me prefer to step my child.
Take yourself.
Right. So me I say so.
So what age?
So
what age you started in terms
I think it was 1 year and 6 months, somewhere around there.
Okay, 18 months.
So you got your own place, as in you.
No, what happened? What happened? It was a real
Yeah, describe that for us.
It's serious. All right, so basically, a part of the change, you know, as I say, you can't change people. A part of the change, you know, she was from a community which I was also from. Where you don't know the environment of people say anything or act anything in front of the child. Not knowing to them and tell the child how to behave. You know? So me did live on the hill, Smokyville. So a part of trying to change me, bring her in my place, for just shift her from the environment.
Oh, okay.
That was part, as I tell you, can't change. And whenever she get the chance, she was always want to go down there with the kids them for still go hear the mix up or go on or whatever. Like she couldn't come out of that old mindset there. We get my niece, we get our jobs to do like official work and stuff like that, you know. She always have argument with people at the workplace, she can't keep the job, these type of things.
So the child stayed with you at home?
I was, she was staying with me for a while, and she used to tell me that she was going to migrate to England. So me that hold out, so she could have it, because I said this would be a better chance. Which never goes so.
You later discovered.
Right. Later discovered that never goes so. Somebody does a whole out and stuff, but me have plan B and plan A and plan B, which like if she never get to go England, so she could have actually set up a situation for herself and the kids, then me have to remove myself from the situation. And the house I was living was a rent house. So what I did, I had to take the child and I moved back at my mom's.
Okay.
Right, because she never even wanted to leave the place, so I made her move out to my own house. So it was a lot of things.
You're tuned in to the Jamaican Dadz podcast. We've got video director Dameon Gayle sharing with us his story as a single father in Jamaica. When we come back, we'll get more into his routine and a number of other behind the scenes things that we really need to consider. Keep the conversation going with the hashtag Jamaican Dadz. That's with a Z. Follow us all over social media. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this. Thanks for staying with us here on the Jamaican Dadz podcast. We are in the midst of the meat of the matter, life as a single father, and we've got video director Dameon Gayle with us, who's been sharing his story so far about the red flags that he saw and the decision he had to take as a responsible Jamaican father to manage his family, and which is really his son, who's now 4 and lives with him. We'll continue with that. Dameon, so 7 months in, you saw the red flags. You're like, hey, listen, plan my exit strategy.
Lift up.
Right? You roll out. At 18 months, you then got custody of the child. But it's not something that you had discussed with her prior because of your fear around how it would have exploded. So take us from there now, from that moment at 18 months when you have this child now and you move out of the house and
so now, so as a video director and also a producer, when you have your video sets, them is sometimes a long day, long planning, long stuff like that. So we have to take into consideration how I'm going to manage all of the time for do work, edit a video, shoot a video, or produce a song, or whatever I need to do, alongside dealing with the child. So when I moved out, I used to work at home. I used to have my office at home. So I open an office where I can go and do my work. Because you know, in the whole industry thing, you have to have peace of mind and stuff. If you're in an environment where you can calm your head and stuff like that.
So how you manage that? You have home office and then you have the little youth. So
So
you work when him sleep.
Well, what happened now? I took him to kindergarten from 18 months. There was like this school where I could carry him. Daycare. So give thanks for that, boy, Corona. So this was the routine now. When I get up early from 6 o'clock. Not them time then did I get milk same way. So I have to warm him water, for bathe, warm him water, for give him milk.
The usual preparation.
Preparation stuff. And then now when I drop him off by 6:37. Then me have the time up until 1 o'clock now to do whatever work I need to do. Pick him up 1. If I don't have a shoot that day, that is when my mom would step in now. If I have a long day now, would I ask my mother to keep him.
So the support is really what has helped you.
Yeah, the support definitely, because with that time now I can like get to do more I need to do and work. And then my energy kick up now because me have to do all of this and the child have to eat, school fee, all them something. So we have to just put
motivate you.
Me have to just like it just trigger something in me. I just feel like I have to just do this.
How did your friends and family react? And then even when you took the child to school, like kindergarten and daycare, and then realized about but there's no mommy here. What was that overall reaction?
Yeah, there was always expression in it, because even when I'm moving from different schools, it's like they're always like surprised to only see me coming. If it's not me, then it's my mom. So it's like them probably a Susan. I said, "Boy, you look like whatever." But the reaction was very, very supportive. Them always a smile, Them always a give me the vibe. They're like, do a good thing. I do a good thing, or Sometimes my mother would say, "Boy, your father the year," and then we could vibe it, So we did feel the support and the set, but within the physical expressions and communication, we could have see that they were in support of what I was doing as a single parent.
Where did you get your information on fatherhood? Because I mean,
that's why we're doing this.
That's why we're doing this. So
well, I really don't. I'm not info. All right, first from it before he was born. I signed up on this app. Was supposed to kind of give this guidance.
Oh Lord!
That
app. Wait. Everything I'm on me.
I suppose it's still there on my.
All right, no worries.
But I can give you the information later. So this app used to kind of give me a few little guidance into stuff that I wouldn't understand, like why am I cry, why certain behavior, because certain things when I understand, and you want to be like, why am I cry? You probably want to change, or probably just need feeding more, sleep. Them basic stuff there with them.
So you learn a different cry then.
You might
believe it. That thing, you learn a different.
You have to learn and understand, because you will get frustrated and feel like the baby just miserable when I just like.
Because they can't talk, so
they
can't talk. Crying.
Some go through that old phase there, and then when them start talk and communicate more, then them have like the tantrum side, and the app did that help me with. Okay, listen, you can't.
Was it geared for you as a dad, or was it a general parent?
It was a general parental thing. So I always look for guidance. If we don't do that, then I go up on YouTube. And stuff, and my mom would help me too, but at the same time, the kids them advanced now, so the old time style not really to work.
Hold on, what do you think were some of the, were there any outdated information you think you got perhaps that mom would have said, no, do this, and you're like, say, 2018 or
one of the things what is consistent now is that the outdated, being my mom is there, she would think that the child is not smart enough to understand certain things.
Oh, yeah.
You understand?
Yes,
them like time them.
Yeah, them time them. So my tree. Yeah, my tree is supposed to not knowing. So the tree where you used to know is now 6 or 7.
Listen,
you understand?
That's a very good point.
Right now, just simple things. Judah doesn't speak really because my 80. But him point blank tell where him want. Him come, him collect you, him bring it to the fridge or just work, and then you open it and you let him.
Right.
Him decide, okay, it's water, juice, whatever.
My son 7 upon detailed decisions now.
My
son really I say, listen, Daddy want me to go Monroe, Mommy want me to go Campion, but it's my decision to make. Like I say, you're 7 dog.
But please tell him say,
no, but it is.
No, it is his decision, and he will decide on Monroe.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
You will decide to
tell him say, grandma down there.
That's a good. What would you say were your biggest challenges, have been the biggest challenges on this journey as a father?
Sleep.
A single father.
Yes.
Sleep and time. Sleep and time. Like I not get much sleep, and worse because of the type of job.
No, man, sleep is a concept, man. You never live on earth.
He's also my comfort too, so it's always nice to be around him. So always feel good being around him. But it's just sometimes is time.
And your time.
Sometimes we just want to play the whole time and we just want to sleep.
Right.
I may have things to go do or whatever it is. Just them little small challenges though, but to reach at that age now, I can talk to him, say I have work today, whatever, blah, blah. And say, okay, daddy, and whatever.
How is the relationship with you and your son?
It's like, we bond, like we go everywhere. Even sometimes I have to travel, I have to carry him with me too.
You're broke best friend. I tell you, your kids, you're broke best friend.
Like I had to do some stuff in Miami and I never want to leave. Because my mom is a little bit sick with certain things. I can't leave her alone too long. And like if I have to leave like 2 weeks, I remember I had to go for 2 weeks and I had to carry him with me to Miami. Carry him with me go to New York.
Him in a foreigner.
So I make sure I get him visa things sorted out and so him develop this thing where like anytime I move him just ready for him have him little suitcase and ready to carry him. So we have that type of vibe there. Anytime we have this adventure vibe, every time we go on road him feel like it's an adventure, him I go somewhere, whatever, blah blah.
What's been the most surprising thing for you on this journey? I'm not even going to qualify it by say as a single father, as a father. What has been the most surprising,
eye-opening,
and fulfilling thing for you? Whichever one you want to choose.
So I actually could I do it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm keeping him alive.
Right.
Day 307. Yeah. He's still alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Him grow up really nice and intelligent. He's smart. I say him already have a concept of how the world already work in a certain vibe. I'm very, open already in terms of how him see the world.
Are there support systems outside of your family? Because there might be other men, because I'm going somewhere with this now actually, there might be other men who are in a similar situation or are considering, them see the need and they're like, oh my goodness. Outside your family, is there any support system, any groups that you are aware of that you could say, boy, hey, all right.
Jamaica Single Dad Alliance.
For my cousin, funny you mentioned that. As I was explaining to you, my cousin, he went through a situation where he can't get custody of his kids, and he started this whole thing of man movement thing. He's been on TV and all of that, promoting it and stuff like that. He was one of the persons getting my son as a custody woman actually got to for certain information legally how I should go about it and stuff like that. I would say he was one of the persons that actually support. He's going through similar thing opposite because he can't get access to his child, but he expected to pay everything, and him can't get the same child more than 2 days for the month or something like that. So he was one of the support system. My mom, I don't know, but I'm this type of person. I guess it's based off my own personality to always, as I said in the beginning, it's always taking on challenges.
Yeah.
So it's like, I always try for just, if me reach at a maximum when I can do it, then I'm going to start reach out. But I'm going to push as far as I can.
So let's go back into the conversation now, because at 7 months you saw the red flags, 18 months you got custody. Take us legally through that now. Did you have to go to family court? How did that work out? Or did she just willingly say, all right, go on?
It was easy because she, as I said, the red flag was she wasn't really about kids. Kids were a part of her way of sustaining her life.
Okay.
So once you see that,
ticket.
yes, a meal ticket, because I see the other kid's father wasn't around, and I see what was happening. I see the phone call, and I call, oh, baby, what you know, all something. So I say, I'm not gonna be one of that person we are gonna call and stress out like that. So as I said, I was telling her, and so she kind of know. So that was my whole motive.
Okay.
So it
legally it ran smoothly.
It ran smoothly, but I was still prepared based for my cousin. I had receipts and everything prepared, and
which is what I want to ask too, because there may be men out there, like I say, in the situation, thinking about it. What would be your advice to a man who sees these red flags and just knows that what happened?
He's afraid.
Yeah,
but he's afraid to let them move.
Yeah, first of all, he have to think about the child first. You can't think about himself, because the child come first, no matter what. So whatever you need to do, you have to get over whatever anxiety or whatever you feel. You have to get over that. Make sure you prepare yourself in a situation where you can take care of the child. Don't just take the child because of outer animosity and feelings. Yeah. If you're going to do it that way, then make the fitness still.
Make a logical decision, not emotional.
Yeah, you have to make sure you plan down the line for the child, schooling, everything. If you're not doing that first, as I said, don't make no sense. So prepare that. Prepare your financial stability if you not already have that. You see me, I said, because kids are going to need a lot of taking care of.
True.
So that are the first thing that I tell you to make sure you fix that. Fix the environment where your child will go around to, because that's very important too. Yeah, if you date a girl, make sure the environment where the girl you date is not that type of something too.
Right. And the truth is, you don't have to always introduce your child to the person you're dating until you're sure that they are stable, you are stable, and the relationship is stable. Because you don't want to keep a revolving door where there's multiple people just coming through over whatever.
Plus the critical thing, remember, if it's going to go to court, the court is going to look at what is in the best interest of the child. Right, not the parents. And there is sort of...
but it isn't... I mean, I think the reputation for courts is that mothers are favored.
No, so that's where I was going to go. There is a feeling that bears out in the dispensation of justice that mothers are better caregivers, right? So it's a reality. It's a reality that every justice system has a culture that it survives in, and I think whether it be on purpose or subconsciously, people tend to think that if the child is to go with one parent, it's the mother, because the mother is a natural caregiver. So I think men have to bear that in mind, that you have to prove that being with you is in the best interest of the child. And it don't mean you have to prove that the mother is a bad person, but you have to prove that you are better equipped to take care of the child. So some of the things that Dameon talk about in terms of environment, in terms of financial stability. A lot of people don't make the decision based on that. A lot of people make the decision out of emotions. So you now work out, you want your child, but at the end of the day, have you put these things in place? When you have work, what's going to happen to the child? Where the child is going to stay? Who is going to... So I would say to men watching this program and thinking about going on the road, put those dots together and connect them. Right? Connect those dots. Very, very important.
Yeah. Listen, Dameon, thank you so much. We've learned a lot. And I think a lot of people are probably better prepared now to give consideration, proper consideration, should they find
What's the name of your son?
Dakari.
Big up Dakari. Big up yourself. The father's a superstar.
Real superstar. All right, that's it for the meat of the matter with video director Dameon Gayle, Life as a Single Father. Please let us know your thoughts. Send us an email, JamaicanDadsPodcast@gmail.com. Find us all over on Instagram and Facebook at Jamaican Dadz.
And Twitter now.
And Twitter, the Jamaican Dadz. Jamaican Dadz on Twitter. All right, so make sure you follow and keep the conversation going with that hashtag Jamaican Dadz. All right, when we return, we've got some face care tips in Fresh to Death.
Fresh face care.
Thanks for staying with us on the Jamaican Dadz podcast. Garth, Marlon, Floyd with you this week. We're flying a man light. Dennis is somewhere off in the blue.
That's how you did it. That was good. That's really good. That was good.
But we'll have Dennis again soon. All right. Now, we're almost at the end of the program, so we've got two things left for you. We've got Fresh to Death and Dad Try This. So let's go with Fresh to Death first. Fresh to Death. And this is, of course, where we share grooming tips, body care tips, hygiene tips, you name it, to keep us all, well, literally fresh to death. Yeah. Right? Now, today we're talking about a face care tip for sensitive skin. And gentlemen, like I'm a clean shave now, right? I mean, lots of women love beards, but lots of women also love that clean, palm-like feeling
baby
of a fresh
face. Yeah,
baby face. Yeah. Floyd's really happy about that because
I know that tune. That tune must be around, you know.
Stop.
You got a cute baby face. Anyway, yeah, not true.
That was not these other line.
Yeah. Don't quit your day job, bro.
Please
wash your face with honey. Yes, I said it. If you've got extremely sensitive skin or you're just looking for a cheap organic face wash.
Time out. Honey not cheap. Just say organic. Honey not in Jamaica.
Well,
not cheap.
If you're thinking about getting a series of products for face care, man. Relatively speaking, honey is down on that list, right? But wash your face with honey. Go to your nearest wherever you can get honey. Don't buy the processed honey. Processed honey have a whole heap of things that go on feet, right? But what you really want is raw honey.
Link a farmer.
Right, you can probably just link a bee farmer. But the honey is what they call a natural humectant. Yes, I teach words every time. Humectant, which basically means it moisturizes without leaving an oily residue. All right, it increases the humidity, I suppose, the moisture levels in your skin without the oily slippery residue, right? It also says here that it can be used as an exfoliant. Now, honey in and of itself is really smooth to the touch, with no grit in it, no particles like that in it. But I do suppose having to rinse thoroughly the honey off your face with whatever you use, your hand, your loofah, well, probably not your loofah.
I'd say add little cornmeal.
Yeah, but a toops of cornmeal could have probably worked.
You think a little cornmeal paste? And
yeah.
So suppose you know what the honey good. No kind of
bees follow you. And then the girl must say you're sweet.
I don't know. I set myself up. Sorry guys. That's my fault.
The other good thing about honey is that it has natural antibacterial qualities as well, right? So wet your face in the shower and massage it into your face, the honey. Leave it there as you wash the rest of your body and rinse it off last thing before you get out.
Oh, I couldn't do that though. I cannot stand the smell of honey.
I don't know if I would have this in the morning, more like a probably like a nocturnal routine and thing, and just in case all of the honey no go away, well, hey baby.
Yo, that's Fresh to Death.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So that's it for Fresh to Death in the Jamaican Dadz podcast. We got more for you right in the blink of an eye. All right, so we're at the finish line, just at the finish line. We've got one more thing for you. It's called Dad Try This. Of course, in Dad Try This, we always give you a cool life hack that, will be of great benefit to you. So, let's go with reducing your water usage at home. Here in Jamaica, we've got some challenges with a number of our utility providers. And I'm being nice about it here. But we're always encouraged to conserve. And water is life. We are the land of wood and water, so why not save the water, right? So, this tip is about reducing your water usage at home. Is your water bill outrageously high? Floyd, Marlon, do you find it to be...
It's all right.
It's all right.
I mean, we save water. We just shower together.
Hey,
save water.
Look at you. Showering together.
Every time, man.
It's high.
Time, not even like talk about it.
We can tell.
It's serious.
Your toilet tank could be one of the problem areas, believe it or not. To help reduce the cost, put a brick or another heavy item inside the tank, like a large item inside the tank. This will displace, at the very least, a few cups of water, helping you to reduce the amount you use with every flush, right? Now, the toilets at our house fill up with about 4 to 6 gallons.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
a big tank, right? And every time flush, say a 4 to 6 gallon of water that, right? We have 4 bathrooms at home, so you can just imagine what's going on the estate. I literally have to describe it as an estate, right? So what we're doing now is that for the bathroom that, for example, like our guests would use, we're going to put 2 bricks in there. Right? Because most times the guests just go in and out. So it's not a lot to move out of the way.
Okay.
Right? And therefore we don't need as much water. And then for the other 3, then we probably wouldn't put 2 bricks, we'd probably just put 1 and just to see where it goes. So this is something I'm actually going to start trying. And I can give you guys an update.
I adjust the floating thing.
Oh, the floater.
Yeah, you can adjust it.
Adjust it.
Right. Adjust it to where it stops.
Bam, it stopped quicker.
Yeah.
That's what I did. But the brick sounds nice.
The brick sounds nice. I like the brick idea.
Yeah.
To be honest. But give it a try at home, folks. Give it a try at home. I mean, we can all save a buck. If you can end up saving even 5 bills off of your water bill a month time, $500 off your water bill, I don't think anybody's going to complain.
Yeah.
I know, it's going to go straight to light.
It can help to subsidize your light bill.
Because I'm subsidizing other people's light bill.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's
start. We're not going to go there today. That's it for that. Try this. Try it at home. Let us know if it works for you. I think it will work for you. But whatever you do, folks, please always try to conserve. Use less where you possibly can. All right.
True.
And guess what, gentlemen?
We're done?
Yeah, that's the end of the show.
A good show.
It was a good discussion.
Yeah, I think.
Dennis, where are you?
Dameon really.
Yeah, Dennis. Don't
his confidence to go out and just
do it.
take him child. I think. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, man, Rafi.
Big up,
Dameon. Dameon, big up yourself.
Parliamentary clap.
Yes. Here, Mr. Speaker.
That's a lot of men don't do it because of fear. They don't think them can manage. So to be able to just go out and do it and have it work.
And to recognize too.
That's a big plus. A good show.
Yeah, man, really good
my
stuff.
big part of it still is, for me, the big takeaway was the fact that not just that he did it, but him recognized that it needed to be done and didn't shirk from it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I have enough man to look on it and say, yo, it's whatever I am, man.
Yeah.
Because on a whole, a lot of times we have to admit, us men, we are not primary caregivers all the time, and we don't even see ourselves in the role and everything there.
You see, and the part of the conversation is when you transition the thought from yourself to the child.
Right. That is the shift. When you stop thinking of self and think child.
I think if anything, if this program can help people in that thinking,
We'd have done all
man.
We set out
transition.
Good stuff. Send us an email, Jamaican Dadz podcast @gmail.com. That's Dads with a Z. We're on Facebook and Instagram @Jamaican Dadz. We're on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe. And Twitter, The Jamaican Dadz. Please make sure to follow us. Keep the conversation going also on Twitter with the hashtag Jamaican Dadz. So, I'm Garth.
I'm Marlon.
Always Floyd.
We are
Jamaican Dadz.
Take care until next time.